Hey guys, it's Jason here. I'm not a big Android user. In fact, most of the products I have are Apple. But today I'll be using this, the OnePlus 3T. Now, is this good enough to make me switch over to Android from Apple of many years? Let's find out. On the front of the screen, we find the 5.5-inch optic AMOLED display with a 1080p resolution, which results in 401 ppi. At the bottom is a fingerprint scanner. How fast is the fingerprint scanner? It's this fast. OnePlus says it's 0.2 seconds. I'm not able to time it, but it does seem pretty fast to me. Also on the front is a 16 megapixel front-facing f2.0 camera, which does record in 1080p at 30 frames per second. Moving to the bottom of the phone, we have the USB Type-C port. We also have a single bottom-facing speaker and a 3.5mm headphone jack. On the side of the phone, we find something which we don't find that often, which is a slider button. It's a 3-stop slider which functions as a silent, do not disturb, and normal volume. We also find the volume rocker keys on this side. The power button is on the other side. And on this side, we have the power button and the SIM card tray. Now this is a dual SIM phone, so it can support 2 SIM cards at a time and switch back and forth between the providers. I only wish that the SIM tray would also function as expandable storage so that we'd be able to put in a micro SD card slot. Turning the phone over, we find the 16 megapixel f2.0 with OIS and EIS that does record at 4K at 30 frames per second. Inside the phone, it's running a Snapdragon 821 with 6 gigabytes of RAM and optional 64 or 128 gigs of storage. The OnePlus 3T is running Oxygen OS, which is based on Android 6.0 Marshmallow. We can assume that in the future this will be updated to Android 7.0. I never had any problems with the phone itself freezing, crashing, or lagging during my time with it. It does have its basic connectivity with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and its USB Type-C. The phone was a pleasure to use, also with making calls and sending messages. Now, for those of us that enjoy manual mode on cameras, this does have some of it. We can adjust the ISO, as we can see here. We can adjust the auto brightness and auto lighting. We can adjust the shutter speed, and the screen does update, and also the autofocus. So we can blur things, although this one is a bit slower compared to the other options on the camera. Now these are just a few sample shots that I took with the OnePlus 3T, and I've compared it to the iPhone 7 Plus. So it'll give you an idea as to what you can expect compared to one of the better quote-unquote cell phone cameras out there. The images it produces are quite respectable. Not too much is oversaturated. Outdoor, it could become a bit of a problem. I was quite impressed though with the night mode shots, which is coming up, as it does not have too much noise as one would expect from a budget camera. So I've been using the phone for about a week now, and I must say that I am quite impressed. It's been years since I've used an Android, but this has made me almost want to switch back. The user interface, software is a joy to use. The phone is quick, responsive, the battery will last me all day, and if it does, I can always top it up during the day with the dash charger. The camera itself is good for quick pictures here and there, and if you were to use the selfie camera, it's good as well. Video, can't complain on that. The minor complaints I have on it would be the haptic feedback in the keyboard makes it sound like the phone is going to fall apart, so I did turn that off within about 10 minutes of initially using the phone. The sleep mode, or the night mode as they call it, is pretty bad. It's just a tinge of yellow over the whole thing. I don't know if that's something you'd want to use. But if I was in the market to switch over to Android and I didn't want to spend those crazy amounts for a phone that's off contract, I would highly recommend looking at this phone. It's around $600 for the base model. It's around $150 more for the 128 gig. but I would not hesitate to recommend this to anyone that is looking for a new phone on an Android. Anyways, if you like this video, please click the thumbs up button, share it, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Anyways, thanks for watching.